وما يذكر إلا أولو الألباب.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful and the specially merciful, the entirely merciful for all mankind and all creatures that He created, for everything He created, and the especially merciful for the believers. And this mercy will be shown, the mercy of Allah will be shown to the believers on the day of resurrection. Dear audience all over the globe, I greet you with the greeting of peace, the greeting of Islam, the greeting of Muslim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and peace be unto all of you. And I hope, inshallah, by saying this greeting, we try our best by statements and by actions to spread peace across the whole globe. Dear audience, I'm reminding you that the name of these episodes is Understanding Islam, which means this is a little bit different from the general statement, similar general statement, because the understanding of Islam in these episodes stems from the Holy Quran, the exact words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the traditions of His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's not our opinions, rather it is the exact interpretation of the words of Almighty Allah as mentioned in the books of tafsir. Today I'm going to select one ayah that is very essential for understanding Islam, for understanding what is the benefit that you will get from being a Muslim and from believing in this holy book that's known as the Holy Quran. Today I'll give you this ayah, which is number 57, and it is in Surah Yunus. The ayah reads as follows: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء لما في الصدور وهدى ورحمة للمؤمنين, which can be translated generally as, O you mankind, O you people, you've already received an admonition, you've already received an advice. From whom? From your Lord. And this is a healing of what is in your hearts, healing of the diseases that are in the hearts. And it is guidance. And in addition to that, it is mercy for the believers. Let me elaborate a little bit on this verse. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us some benefits from this Holy Quran in brief. He said that you can sum them up in 4 words. First of all, before He gave us this, He addressed us like, Ya ayyuhan nasu. So that's why this is one of 10 million beliefs, proves that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is telling us He's addressing mankind. So He's not addressing just the believers, the Muslim believers. He's not addressing the Arabs. He's not addressing the Middle Eastern. He's addressing every human being. So if you are classified as a human being, so you know that Allah here is addressing you. And you can see, you can tell. So this book is not a restricted book only for the Muslims, but here it's quite obvious that it is for all mankind. We know the beginning of these ayat, some of ayat would begin with Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu, or it begins with Ya ayyuhal kafirun, or it begins with Ya ayyuhan nas, Ya ayyuhal insanu, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu. So here it shows that it addresses everybody by this word, Ya ayyuhan nas, O you mankind, O you believers. Now, whenever you hear Ya ayyuha, somebody is calling you, somebody is addressing you, so you should pay attention. Every human being should pay attention to this statement to see what is in it. قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم. You already got an advice from your Lord, from your Creator, from the Lord of the worlds. So now, what is this advice? This Quran that talks about the halal and the haram. Everything that is legal and lawful is mentioned here. And everything that's bad and evil and illegal is here. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it crystal clear in this Quran what is good for you and what is bad for you as a human being. In other words, it has a lot of clarification that you need. You want to ask, is this halal? Is this haram? What I'm doing is correct? What I'm doing is incorrect? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers all the questions that you have in your mind. What to do, what not to do. It's so clear that you can know it by yourself. And if you don't know it, we have the golden rule, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people with knowledge, ask the people with expertise, ask the scholars if you don't know. So now, this is something that's amazing. There's not a single book in the world that does this, that tells you everything that's lawful and everything that's unlawful or unlawful or illegal. So now, this is one benefit of learning the Quran. One benefit, one advantage of being a Muslim, in other words. So the second one is what? This book that Allah sent, it has another important function. It is so valuable because it works as a healing for the chests. In other words, for the diseases that are in the heart. Any disease that attacks the heart, we're talking about the diseases of arrogance, the disease of greediness, the disease of jealousy, the disease, all these things that keeps the human being very busy with this thing, that to the degree that it destroys his life or her life. So any disease of the heart, for us Muslims, we know that we don't go to psychologists, we don't go to the psychiatrists, we don't go to all these people who are specialized in this area. Why? Simple. Because these hearts are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the one who knows how to heal them is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He sent the healing in this book. So the treatment and the healing of the diseases of the heart are there mentioned in the Holy Quran. They are enough for us to cure such diseases in our hearts. So now, there are two functions here of this book. One function is that it is an advice for us that shows us the halal and the haram. And the second one here, it is healing for the diseases in the heart. And the third one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this book is guidance. If you're looking for guidance, don't waste your time. Don't go to this person or the other person or the expert somewhere in the world. If you want to be guided to do something that Allah will be pleased of, this is the book that you have to consult with. This is the book that gives you clarity and evidence for everything. So this is the third function of the book, is to give you guidance. Guidance to what? Guidance to every righteous thing. It shows you clearly the way and the path that you should follow. You don't need to get the opinion of people, because nowadays most of the people would say, okay, I will go with the group. I'll go with the majority of people. No. This doesn't work in Islam. You go with the creator of the hearts, the creator of human beings, the creator of everything, the one who creates them and who knows everything about them. He is the one who can give you the answer that you're looking for. It's not your parents, it's not your relatives, it's not your close friends, it's not the so-called expertise in the people in the world. No. Whoever, yes, of those, they are like you, they are created by Allah. They need the same help that you need. They need the same guidance that you are looking for. So they cannot give you guidance unless they are quoting what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught them. So this is the third function. And finally, this book is a mercy for mankind. If you want to get some mercy, so this is the book that leads you to mercy, because by reciting this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will pour His mercy upon you. By learning the ayat that you need to use in this situation or the other situation, you will get mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this book now, according to this ayah number 57 in Surah Yunus, you know that there are 4 functions, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about this Quran. 4 benefits that you learn from it. All of us learn. Of course, there are many others, but at least these 4 of them, they are mentioned in one simple ayah, which is what? We said that it's advice, maw'idha, and then the second one, as it says here, it is shifa, it's healing. So when you have a problem in your heart, when you have some anxiety in your heart, what should you do? You recite the Quran. And that's why it's part of this great religion is the meaning of the word Quran. The word Quran is something to be read frequently. One function of this Quran is that in order to get benefit from it, we have to read it frequently. That's why people, in addition to our reading of the Quran, in every prayer, we need portions of it in the morning, portions of it in the evening. And in this way, we keep our heart clean and vivid and ready to receive these words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that we would benefit from these 4 functions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in this ayah. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.